Hi everyone, I'm Lucy.
And I'm James. Good to see you again, Lucy.
You too, James. How are you feeling today?
I'm good, thanks. Actually, before we started, my mind was very busy. One voice said, "Don't forget your notes." Another voice said, "You look tired."
I know exactly what you mean. My mind does the same thing. Sometimes it feels like my brain is a group chat that never sleeps.
Yes, a group chat at 2 in the morning. No filter, just drama and worry.
If you're listening right now and you also have a loud mind, you're not strange. You're completely normal. You're human.
Today we want to talk about that voice inside your head, the way you talk to yourself every day.
Because that voice is very powerful. It can make you feel small and scared, or it can help you grow stronger.
This topic is really important for English learners. Many people don't speak because their inner voice says, "Your English is bad. Don't try. People will laugh."
But it's not just about English. This voice affects your whole life, your work, your relationships, your confidence.
So today, we'll do something simple but very helpful. We'll listen to that inner voice, we'll understand how it works, and then we'll learn how to answer back with kinder words.
We're not talking about fake positive thinking. We're talking about being honest and kind to yourself at the same time.
And we'll use simple English, B1 level. Easy sentences, clear examples, no heavy psychology words.
If you don't understand everything, that's okay. Just relax and listen. You can always come back and listen again.
And at the end, we'll teach you some very useful vocabulary, words you can use when you talk about feelings and thoughts.
If you enjoy this kind of learning, calm and personal, please like this episode and subscribe to our podcast.
Later, we'd love to hear from you. What is one sentence your inner voice says to you? Share it in the comments.
All right, let's begin. Today, we'll listen to a real story from our friend Anna. She had a very negative inner voice for many years.
But she learned how to change it, and her story can help you change yours too.
I'll tell you Anna's story now. Listen carefully. Try to notice the different voices in her head. My name is Anna. For many years, I had a very loud voice inside my head. This voice was not kind. It was harsh and critical. Every morning when I woke up, the voice started talking immediately. It said, "You're going to fail today. You're not ready. People will see you're not good enough." In my English class, I often knew the answer to questions. My teacher would ask something, and inside my head, I knew what to say. I felt brave for 1 second. I wanted to raise my hand. But then the voice jumped in. It said, "Wait, what if you say it wrong? What if people think you're stupid? Just stay quiet and safe." So I always closed my mouth. I looked shy, but really, I just lost a fight with my inner voice. At work, it was the same. My boss asked for ideas in meetings. I had good ideas, but the voice said, "Your idea is stupid. Don't embarrass yourself." So I never spoke up. Later, I would type a message to my manager or a coworker. I would write it, read it, then delete it. The voice said, "Your English is so bad. They won't respect you. Who do you think you are?" Sometimes I deleted the same message 3 times. And then at night, that same voice said, "Why are you so quiet? Why don't you take action?" It was very confusing. At bedtime, the voice became even louder. I would lie in the dark with my phone. I would scroll and scroll, and my brain would replay all my mistakes like a movie. Why did you say that today? Why didn't you speak in that meeting? Why are you still stuck in the same place? One thought led to another and another. I felt like I was carrying the whole world on my shoulders. Every night I felt so heavy and tired, but it wasn't my work that made me tired. It was the fight inside my head. One day, a good friend noticed something. She said, "Anna, you are so hard on yourself. You beat yourself up for every little mistake. Why do you do that?" I didn't know how to answer. I thought everyone talked to themselves this way. Then she said something that changed everything. She said, "You need to talk to yourself like you would talk to a good friend. Would you say these terrible things to a friend? No. So why do you say them to yourself?" That question was a light bulb moment for me. I realized my inner voice was the real problem, not my English level or my job skills. I started to notice my thoughts. When the voice said, "You're stupid," I would stop and ask, "Is this really true? Would I say this to someone I care about?" The answer was always no. I began to practice a different way of thinking. Instead of, "I failed, I'm terrible," I would say, "I made a mistake. That's okay, I'm learning. What can I do better next time?" It felt strange at first. My old voice was so strong. But day by day, I practiced, and slowly, my inner voice became kinder and more helpful. Now, I still have negative thoughts sometimes. That's normal, but I don't let them control my life anymore. I notice them, and I answer back with compassion. My confidence has grown. I speak up more in meetings. I send messages without deleting them 5 times. I raise my hand in class. I learned that I don't have to be perfect to be kind to myself. I can be kind while I'm still learning and growing.
That was Anna's story. From years of negative self-talk to learning self-compassion.
It's a powerful journey. I think many people listening will relate to her experience.
Absolutely. I loved the part where Anna's friend asked, "Would you say this to someone you care about?" That's such a simple question, but it changes everything.
Yes, because we are often much harder on ourselves than we are on other people. We say cruel things to ourselves that we would never say to a friend.
I relate to Anna's story a lot. When I first started teaching, I was terrified. After my first class, I went home, and my inner voice said, "You're a terrible teacher. You should quit."
That must have been really difficult. What changed for you?
I wrote down what actually happened. I asked myself, what would I say if my friend had this same experience? And I realized I would say, "Hey, your first class is always hard. You showed up. You tried. That's brave."
That's self-compassion, looking at yourself with the same kindness you give to others.
Exactly. And now I try to do that every day. When I make a mistake, I notice it, but I don't attack myself.
I do the same thing now. It's not about being perfect, it's about being patient with yourself while you grow.
Now, let's look at some really useful words from Anna's story. These words will help you talk about feelings, thoughts, and mental health.
First word, inner voice. Your inner voice is the voice inside your head that talks to you all day.
For example, Anna's inner voice was very negative. It always criticized her and made her feel bad.
You can say, "My inner voice tells me I'm not good enough," or "I'm trying to make my inner voice kinder."
Next word, harsh. Harsh means very unkind, rough, or severe.
Anna's inner voice was harsh. It said cruel things to her.
You can say, "Don't be so harsh on yourself," or "His words were too harsh."
Another important word, critical. Critical means always finding faults and problems, always judging.
Anna was very critical of herself. She saw every mistake and no success.
If someone is critical, they focus on what's wrong, not what's right.
Next phrase, raise your hand. To raise your hand means to lift your hand up to show you want to speak or answer a question.
In class, Anna wanted to raise her hand, but fear stopped her.
You can say, "I finally raised my hand and answered the question."
Another useful phrase, speak up. To speak up means to say something, to share your opinion, especially when it's difficult.
Anna was afraid to speak up in meetings. She kept her ideas inside.
You can say, it's important to speak up when you have a good idea.
Next word, embarrass. To embarrass yourself means to do something that makes you feel ashamed or uncomfortable in front of others.
Anna's inner voice said, don't embarrass yourself, so she stayed silent.
You can say, "I don't want to embarrass myself by making mistakes," but remember, making mistakes is normal.
Another phrase, beat yourself up. To beat yourself up means to criticize yourself very hard because of a mistake.
Anna beat herself up for every small error. She was too hard on herself.
You can say, stop beating yourself up. You did your best.
Next word, replay. To replay means to play something again in your mind, like watching a video again.
At night, Anna would replay all her mistakes in her head.
You can say, "I keep replaying that embarrassing moment from yesterday."
Another phrase, light bulb moment. A light bulb moment is when you suddenly understand something clearly. It feels like a light turns on in your mind.
Anna had a light bulb moment when her friend asked her that question.
You can say, I had a light bulb moment during the lesson. Suddenly, everything made sense.
Next word, compassion. Compassion means kindness and understanding towards someone who is suffering or struggling.
Self-compassion means being kind to yourself, not just to others. Anna learned self-compassion. She learned to treat herself with kindness. You can say, treat yourself with compassion when you make mistakes.
And finally, control. To control means to have power over something, to make decisions about it.
Anna said, I don't let negative thoughts control me anymore. She has the power now.
You can say, don't let fear control your life.
Let's review these words quickly. Inner voice, harsh, critical, raise your hand, speak up, embarrass, beat yourself up, replay, light bulb moment, compassion, control.
Good. Now let's use these words in a short conversation about Anna's experience. I'll ask questions and you answer.
Okay, ready.
What was Anna's inner voice like?
Her inner voice was very harsh and critical. It said mean things to her every day.
What happened when Anna wanted to raise her hand in class?
Her inner voice said, don't speak up, you might embarrass yourself. So she stayed quiet.
What did Anna do at night?
She would replay all her mistakes in her head. She would beat herself up.
What was Anna's light bulb moment?
When her friend asked, would you say these things to someone you care about? Anna realized she needed self-compassion.
Does Anna still have negative thoughts?
Yes, sometimes, but now she doesn't let them control her life. Excellent. Now it's time to practice speaking. This is very important for your learning.
I will say a sentence slowly, then Lucy will say it at normal speed. Then you repeat it out loud.
Don't just listen, actually speak. This helps your mouth and your brain work together.
Ready? Here we go. My inner voice was very harsh.
My inner voice was very harsh.
I was afraid to speak up in class.
I was afraid to speak up in class.
I would beat myself up for every mistake.
I would beat myself up for every mistake.
My friend taught me about self-compassion.
My friend taught me about self-compassion.
I don't let negative thoughts control me now.
I don't let negative thoughts control me now.
I'm learning to be kind to myself.
I'm learning to be kind to myself. Great work. Keep practicing these sentences. Say them again later today.
The more you repeat them, the more natural they become, and you can use them in real conversations.
Now let's talk about a little bit of grammar. Don't worry, we'll keep it very simple.
In Anna's story, we heard many examples of the simple past tense. We use simple past to talk about finished actions in the past.
For example, Anna said, I had a loud voice. I felt scared. I stayed quiet. These things happened before and they're finished.
The structure is simple. Take the base verb and add ed for regular verbs. Talk becomes talked. Learn becomes learned.
But many common verbs are irregular. Have becomes had, feel becomes felt, say becomes said.
Don't worry about memorizing all of them now. You'll learn them naturally as you practice.
We also heard the simple present tense. Anna said, I don't let them control me. I notice them. I answer back. We use simple present for things that are true now, habits, and general facts.
For example, I speak English every day. I practice in the morning. I feel more confident now.
Notice the difference. Simple past for finished actions, simple present for current habits and facts.
One more pattern we heard is would. Anna said, I would replay my mistakes. I would delete messages. My voice would say mean things.
We use would to talk about repeated actions in the past, things you did again and again. It's like saying, this was my habit before, but maybe not anymore.
For example, I would stay quiet in class, but now I speak up more.
Or, I would beat myself up, but now I practice self-compassion.
See? Simple grammar, but very useful.
So, how can you use this in real life? Let's think about some situations where you might talk about your feelings or your inner voice.
First situation. You're talking to a friend or counselor. They ask, how do you feel about yourself?
You can use what we learned today. You can say, sometimes my inner voice is very harsh. It tells me I'm not good enough, but I'm learning to be kinder to myself.
Simple and honest. You don't need complicated words.
Second situation, you're in an English class or support group. The teacher asks, what stops you from speaking more?
You can say, I'm afraid to embarrass myself. My inner voice says people will laugh, but I know I need to speak up more to improve.
That's a perfect answer. You're being honest about your fear, but also showing you want to grow.
Third situation. A coworker or classmate makes a mistake and they feel terrible. You want to help them.
You can use compassion. You can say, hey, don't beat yourself up. Everyone makes mistakes. What's important is what you learn from it.
Beautiful. You're helping them the same way Anna's friend helped her.
See, with just a few simple sentences, you can talk about real feelings. You can help yourself and help others.
Before we finish, let's talk about something interesting. In many cultures, people struggle with negative self-talk, but some cultures are starting to talk about mental health more openly.
In English-speaking countries like the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia, there's a growing focus on mental health and self-care.
Self-care means taking care of your mental and emotional health, not just your physical health.
People are learning that it's okay to say, I'm struggling, I need help, I'm working on being kinder to myself.
In workplaces, schools, and even on social media, you'll hear terms like mental health, self-compassion, mindfulness, and positive self-talk.
These aren't just trendy words, they represent a real shift in how people think about well-being.
Many companies now offer mental health days. These are days off work specifically for your mental health, not just when you're physically sick.
Schools teach students about growth mindset. This means believing you can improve and learn instead of thinking you're just good or bad at something.
And in conversations, it's becoming more normal to talk about therapy, counseling, or seeing a psychologist.
These are all signs that people understand mental health is just as important as physical health.
So, if you're learning English and you hear these topics, don't be surprised. It's part of modern English conversation.
And it's actually very useful vocabulary for real life, not just textbooks.
Now let's review everything we learned today.
We listened to Anna's story about her journey from harsh self-criticism to self-compassion.
We learned important vocabulary: inner voice, harsh, critical, raise your hand, speak up, embarrass, beat yourself up, replay, light bulb moment, compassion, and control.
We practiced speaking with shadowing exercises. We repeated sentences out loud.
We looked at simple grammar, simple past for finished actions, simple present for current habits, would for repeated past actions.
And we talked about how to use this language in real situations, talking to friends, in class, at work, or helping others.
We also learned about mental health culture in English-speaking countries.
Remember, you don't have to change everything in one day. Small steps are okay.
Just notice your inner voice. When it's harsh, try to answer back with something kinder.
You're not trying to be perfect. You're trying to be a little bit kinder to yourself each day.
And we have a challenge for you. In the comments, tell us about your inner voice. What does it say to you? Is it kind or critical? What's one sentence you want to change?
Or share one kind sentence you want to practice saying to yourself.
We would love to read your thoughts and support your journey.
Learning English is not just about grammar and vocabulary, it's also about expressing your real feelings and experiences.
So, don't be shy. Practice with us. Share your story.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today.
Take care of your English and take care of your mind and heart.
This is James. And this is Lucy. We'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone. Keep growing, keep learning, keep being kind to yourself.